ciao, kumusta? My name is Victor, and in today's video, I want to show you guys what the importance of lighting is and also how to shape light, kind of like an introduction to it, because I think the most important part of video production and photography as well is lighting. Essentially, photography and videography is to capture lighting into our camera sensors, and that's what we need to master. Obviously, there's different elements to it, but one of the main things that I focus on is lighting, exposure, and composition. These are the things that I learned after a year or two of shooting paid videos, that camera movements doesn't really matter until you nail your exposure, because that's going to elevate your videos into the next level. So when I started out, my first light was this guy. This is the Godox SL60W. It's a really great budget light, but I found myself needing more power, and especially for an all-in-one budget lighting, this doesn't really cut it. If I try to match this guy with the Godox SL60, it really won't match it because it's only one color, which is 5600 daylight color. And the SmallRig RC220B is a bicolor light. We can adjust the CCT to match what we are trying to match with the window light right here. And with budget lights, or at least the daylight version of these lights, you only get stuck with 5600 Kelvin, which you need to gel, use CTOs or CTBs to really change the warmth, and you're limited to that. This light also has Buns mount, which is kind of like the camera lens mount for lighting. Buns mount is common throughout the lighting gear that you've seen here on YouTube and on lower budget sets. The build quality is really good. I mean, it feels solid compared to most budget lighting. I'm not going to talk about a lot of the features of this light. You can just read the spec sheet for that. I want to showcase to you guys how you can use this light into different scenes. So to give you guys a basic demonstration of how artificial lighting affects your videos, or having control of the lighting, at least to the exposure of your image, how to balance your image. Currently, right now, what's happening is that the background, the window, is way too overexposed for my face, for the subject, and it's overpowering the scene. What we're gonna do now is we're just going to adjust everything here, and we're gonna turn on our light with the app and adjust the scene to that is warmer, and we're gonna adjust the scene to this one. All right, so that's a quick way to do it. Now, why did I put the light over here? One is because of motivation. The light source is coming from there, and to make it look natural, we want to really put the light close to where the source is coming. Now, it doesn't have to be the same angle, because if it's the same angle, what's going to happen is that it's just going to hit this side of my face, and that it's not going to give me a more cinematic look, or at least a balanced exposure throughout my image. Now, the subject, being me as a talking head, is now competing with the light here, and that it's more balanced. And I usually find that window lighting, it can be a little overexposed, but if we truly want to match the exposure with outdoors and what my light is that I can just brighten this up, and we're just going to adjust the ND quite a little bit to match that lighting. We are now matching the two, but to make it more natural, we're just going to go back to how it was earlier. Now, this is a prime example why controlled lighting is important. Now that the cloud is blocking the sun, the window now has a bluish tone, and that it has less light that's pushing through the curtains. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna match it again, and we're going to reduce the exposure, the intensity, and we're gonna cool it down to this. There are different elements that really affect outdoor lighting, natural lighting, and that these are the stuff that we cannot control, such as the clouds and timing. And that is why professionals prefer controlled lighting, so that whenever they're shooting, the exposure is consistent, the colors are consistent, and everything else on the shoot schedule is followed, rather than trying to fight for the time or waiting for the clouds to go away. I've done that multiple times on my shoots, and it's just time consuming and also kind of frustrating, especially if you can't deliver consistent lighting throughout your videos. I'm going to show you guys what happens if we move the lighting on here and that it's not following the direction of the motivation light, which is the window light. Now that the lighting is over here, it's kind of awkward to look at because what happens is that we can't really fake where the motivation lighting is coming from. I mean, it kind of looks okay because it's giving us a nice rim light over here. The only problem with this though is to sell it being a natural light, natural key light coming from a source, we need to have something here or something that will allow our audience to kind of think that, oh, it's coming from that light. Because if you look at a lot of movies and TV shows, there's always a lamp in the background, and that is always casting orange lighting on the back or wherever that direction is. Maybe it's the key light as well. Next time you watch a TV or a movie show, you're gonna see what I mean about these motivational lighting and how it looks so natural, even though it's actually a fake source or an artificial source coming from a certain light. And as usual, I'm giving away my S-Log3 LUT pack, and all you have to do to win is comment down below what are your overall thoughts about this small rig RC220B by Color Light. If you do want the LUT pack now, it's available in the link down below. And if you want to learn more cinematic lighting on a budget, click on this video right here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
No,